So your bro is buying a car.
You're not my bro and you're buying a car.
BMW.
BMW? How are you buying a BMW? You can't afford a BMW.
Arey, it's under my budget. My budget was 12 lakhs. Aapne bataya tha last time.
Yes,
Remember na?
12 lakhs.
I'm getting a BMW. Second hand.
Let me tell you what.
Arey, we'll go out on a drive, no?
I don't want to go on a car. Let me explain how a used car and a new car works. 12 lakhs you said, right? For a BMW versus a new car. And whatever makes sense, we'll do it. And then you won't take an off.
You have a checklist for this too?
Of course I have a checklist for this. But before this, go get a pen and paper.
I have to buy a...
In this video, we're going to talk about whether you should buy a new car or a used car. So let's begin.
Yes, sir. I don't have enough time, but...
It's just going to take 10 minutes. So first, I want you to answer a bunch of questions that I just wrote down. It can be an expression also. You will also do this with me. First question. So what's the cost of buying the car?
It's the cost of buying the car.
What's the down payment?
Oh, acha. So the cost is 12 lakhs. I think I'll pay 1 lakh. 1 lakh aap de dena. 8 lakhs ka loan. Yeah, salary badha dijiye.
Hold up.
Yeah.
You will get about 90 to 95% of the loan on the on-road price of a new car.
Haan.
Right?
Yes.
But for a used car, you will actually only get about 70 to 75% of the entire amount as a loan. The rest you have to pay from your own pocket, not my
70%
pocket.
of the cost. Matlab 12 lakh ka 70% is?
That's the loan. And the rest, that means 30%, you'll have to pay from your own pocket.
Arey nahi sir, that's not how it works.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
And
please write this down. 70% loan, 30% down from your pocket.
Perfect. So 70% loan, 30% cash.
What's the interest on the loan?
I don't know. Hoga kuch? I'll have to ask.
If I check over here, I can see 8 to 9%. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's okay.
How old is your car?
10 years.
10 years. Now, what do you think? When you take a loan, who really owns the car? You or the bank?
Bank.
Now, the bank sees the car as an asset.
Okay.
So, as an asset, which asset is riskier, the new car or the old car?
I think the old car will be more on the riskier side because it's
older,
old.
parts are older,
Correct.
It may not run. Resale value kam hogi.
Haha, I know. What's the point?
So, to mitigate this risk, what will the bank do? It will charge more interest on a used car. So, it will be 13 or 14%.
Why?
This is also a cost. And I think if you're buying the entire thing in cash, then of course this interest rate obviously doesn't matter. Let me show you a table. So the pre-owned car won't have a registration fee, but your new car will.
Because it's already registered.
Correct. But there is a transfer fee of 2,000 to 5,000 depending on where you are. So let's check your answer. Are you buying a used BMW so others can see you drive it?
Yes, of course. It will make me look cool. I'll drive the BMW.
Exactly right. So the motivation to get the car is so others see you, not the satisfaction of driving the car.
I am satisfied.
No, but actually when other people see you, you will get this caught in this validation trap. So think about it. Maybe that's not a good reason to buy. I found something interesting to tell you. What's the running cost of the car? Mileage, kitna deti hai?
Let me just go buy it and I'll let you know.
Okay, what is the new car ka mileage?
I don't know.
But let's understand what the cost is. Fair. You buy it.
I
Fair.
tell you.
So basically, this is how much you'll be spending every month more. Add this to the cost. So when you come and say 12 lakh mein BMW mil raha hai, it's not right because you have to add it. Yeah. Next page, add it. Cost of fuel per kilometer for a new car with 17 kilometers a litre is 5.88. For a second-hand luxury car, it's probably around 9.09. Now that's roughly 3.2 rupees extra for each kilometer. Now assume he's traveling 50 kilometers for 300 days a year, then the extra cost is 48,000 rupees. And over the next 5 years, I'm assuming you'll use the car, that adds up to 2.4 lakh rupees extra. Of course, if you don't travel 50 kilometers, itna kharcha nahi hoga, but obviously you have to take into account how much extra you're paying because you're buying a luxury car now. Cool?
Okay, fair.
Alright. And I think you should always know that a new car is always more fuel efficient than an old car. Because technology is improving.
You're not letting me buy a new car. You're not letting me buy an old car. What should I do? What should I buy?
You don't want me to advise you? I spent so much time on you. Ungrateful. Cool. Now moving on to the next point. Let's start with maintenance. Okay. Now maintenance mein you have to do service.
Correct.
In a new car, the first few services are
free.
And you need to get it after every few months.
Correct.
Right? Maybe 6 months.
I mean, there's a different criteria.
Yeah, 50,000 kilometers, etc. etc. But for an old car, the frequency of the service increases, correct? Because
Right.
wear and tear is higher. And the cost of the service is also slightly higher, correct? And I'm sure BMW ka service cost will be pretty high.
If I don't drive that car every day, I'm fine by the EMIs. If I don't drive that car every day, I'll not have to get that serviced every quarter. I'll save money.
Yeah, but then why are you buying it in the first place? Anyway, there's one more point over here, the spare parts. Sometimes what happens is that the spare parts खराब हो जाते हैं.
So I'll
Don't
get
you
that
think?
repaired.
Sometimes it happens very often. But the point is, if the insurance doesn't cover it, you will have to pay for it, and it's really expensive. So insurance premiums will become really expensive. If the parts have to be imported, that's a problem, and it just becomes a hassle. In fact, I know there is someone watching this right now who's heard about this. Please tell the story of a used car ka problems with service and changing parts in the comments so we can all learn from each other, right?
Please do. Okay, fine, noted. Let me just...
So basically, the cost of maintaining an old car is way, way higher. And before you buy a used car, you should find out what that cost roughly is over the next 5 years. Cool? Fair, right?
Yeah.
What have you given away when you take a loan?
Savings.
Actually, when you take a loan, you're giving away a slice of your future earnings.
Hey.
In other words, you're giving away the most precious thing you have.
Money.
Time. Be very careful of how much you actually do it.
But that's how I want to live, no?
That's not good.
I should not live.
And now we have finally the best part, resale value of your used car. I have a simple...
What's new in that?
Check this out. So this is the age of the car and this is the depreciation. Now notice, the moment you drive the car, 10-15% gone. After 1 to 2 years of use, about 20% is gone. About 2 to 3 years of use, 30% is gone. Then it reduces. 3 to 4 years, about 40% is gone, depreciated of the value of the car.
Who came up with these numbers?
4 to 5 years, 50%. So after 5 years, you need to manually decide it amongst parties to find out what that depreciation is. To know the depreciation rates according to the Income Tax Act and Companies Act, check out the doc in the description. So the value of your used car for a resale again is really bad actually. But you can sell your new car for at least maybe you've lost 30% or 40% of the value. You'll get some resale value from it. So you should include that as a cost as well.
You're convincing me not to buy this BMW.
No, you should buy the BMW. You should just know what you're getting into. Don't you hate me? Actually, I have a friend, Abid, and he bought a car which was a luxury high-performance car for a low amount, and it is a really old car. Did he make a mistake?
I don't know.
In his case, he did not. He's a motorhead. He took a mechanic with him. He understands cars. That's all he obsesses about. He knows what he was buying, and it's actually a really good purchase. He knows what to do with it, what not to do with it. He really understands cars. So if you're a motorhead and you really understand cars, you can make this work. But if you're scrolling on Instagram and you're like, dude, ye gaadi mujhe saste mein mil gayi, and you're buying it out of just fun, you will almost always make the worst choice.
So what you're saying is, I'll have to take a mechanic today.
So am I saying you shouldn't buy the old car?
Yes.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you should know all of these points before you buy an old car. And buying an old car will save you money. But if you buy a luxury old car, things change a lot. So if you're not buying a luxury old car, a lot of these things may not make sense.